The sun vanished over the Dustlands, and a strange silence settled in. The wind stopped howling. Shadows stretched longer than they should. Rango stepped out of his office, squinting into the foggy horizon. Something wasn't right. The desert, once dry and loud, now whispered in a tongue only nightmares understood. It was night, but not the kind that ends at sunrise. Every grain of sand murmured something terrifying. As Rango walked forward, the desert began calling his name, not loudly, but in soft, sinister voices that echoed in his head. Rango, Rango. They weren't dreams. They weren't hallucinations. It felt like the land itself was alive, dragging him into something ancient and evil. Inside the village huts, the screams began. Villagers thrashed in their sleep, sweating, sobbing, begging to wake up. Rango kicked open a door, only to witness a nightmare clawing at a helpless soul's mind. And on the wall, a dreamcatcher, burned to ash. Something had broken into their dreams and was feeding on them. Through the swirling black dust, a tall shadow emerged. Glowing yellow eyes pierced the fog. His smile was cold and wide, a monster born of fear itself. It was him, pitch black. Rango held his breath behind a cactus, frozen. The king of nightmares had come, and he didn't plan to leave. Pitch Black wasn't alone. He rode on a nightmare. A black horse with fire in its hooves and smoke in its mane. More followed. Ghostly steeds charged through the village, shattering windows, warping walls, and filling the air with screams. Dreams died with every hoof that touched the ground. The town gathered in the candlelit hall, their faces pale, their voices trembling. No one had answers, only fear. But Rango stood tall, flipping through old scrolls, searching for something. He remembered the legend, a dreamcatcher ancient and powerful, hidden beyond the dunes. It might be their last hope. Rango unrolled a dusty scroll. Symbols glowed faintly under candlelight. A map. It led to a place forgotten by time, the cradle of dreams. But it wasn't just a journey. The map warned of illusions, cursed wind, and a trial of the soul. Still, he knew. He had to go. No one else would. He stepped into the black dunes, where the sand twisted like smoke and the wind whispered madness. Every step sank deeper than the last. Skeletons, half-buried, grinned from below. There were no stars above, only swirling clouds of shadow. And still, Rango pressed on, one breath, one nightmare at a time. Out of the fog drifted the sleepless ones, pale, hollow-eyed spirits floating inches above the ground. They reached out to Rango, mouths wide, but no sound came. They were the lost, dreamers who never woke. Each one was a warning: turn back, or become one of them forever. Rango found the cave. Inside, floating orbs shimmered like memories. Some showed laughter, others endless falling. One showed his own reflection, drowning in fear. It was a place of beautiful terror, a library of dreams long abandoned. And at the center, the path to the dreamcatcher, guarded by something ancient. The air shifted as the guardian rose, a massive owl sculpted from sand and light. Its eyes glowed with stars. Its wings spanned the entire cave. Rango stood before it, silent. It asked no questions, gave no mercy. The owl blinked, and the dream trial began. Suddenly, he was nowhere, just blackness, then visions. Rango saw himself failing, lost, mocked, forgotten. The desert swallowed him whole. Fear gripped tighter than any claw. He screamed. He fell. But in the silence, A voice echoed inside. "Get up, Sheriff." And he did, stronger. A golden glow filled the cave. The dreamcatcher rose from its pedestal, spinning, humming softly like a lullaby. Light danced in every direction, pushing shadows back into the cracks. Rango reached out, and the moment he touched it, he felt every nightmare scream. The journey back was no easier. A storm of shadows chased him, whispering lies. His feet bled. The wind howled like a dying beast. But Rango gripped the dreamcatcher tightly, shielding it from the dark. He didn't look back. If he did, he knew he'd never leave. The village was silent. No stars, no wind. Pitch black stood at the edge, his army behind him. Rango climbed the roof, raised the dreamcatcher to the sky. He didn't have a plan, just a heart that refused to let nightmares win. With a flash, the dreamcatcher spun faster than the eye could follow. A vortex opened, sucking in the nightmares like a black hole of light. Pitch fought it, screamed, clawed. But it was too late. The dreamcatcher knew its purpose, and it remembered his name. The night fell still. Villagers slowly emerged, eyes wide, breath calm. The nightmares were gone. The silence wasn't empty anymore. It was peaceful. For the first time in weeks, no one screamed in their sleep, just deep, peaceful dreams. In the sand near the tower, a faint shadow twitched, a sliver of Pitch's soul, still breathing. One glowing eye blinked, then faded into the earth. Rango saw it and didn't smile. He knew evil never dies. It only sleeps and waits. Rango climbed the tallest tower, hanging the dreamcatcher for all to see. The desert wind played with its strings. The owl guardian circled overhead, watching. He wasn't just a sheriff now. He was a guardian of peace, of sleep, of dreams. The sun dipped below the dunes once more. But this time, no one feared the dark. Children dreamed. Villagers rested, and Rango stood on the hill, looking into the stars. If the night returned, so would he ready.